I wrote this after the visitation and funeral of my father-in-law about 3 weeks ago. That's all. Looked into the coffin of a man who was once great. At least that's what I hear. But the cancer ravaged him until his bones crumbled to dust. The family then wondered how the people at the funeral home would make him look like him. And the family walked into that room and they held their breath for more reasons than death, more reasons than their last viewing of the man they lost. Now, once again, looking like he had meat on his bones. When the services started, we all had to follow the Reverend's laments by all periodically proclaiming, "Lord, have mercy." The man with the collar would talk, and I would wonder what it would be like to hold the job of applying makeup to the dead. Try to make them look not so dead. Puff up the cheeks, apply face paint to give them color. Lord, have mercy. Beforehand, a string of older firemen came to us before the coffin with small black bands over each of their badges. When the fire station started, before they even had a fire station in the town, he used his red truck with ladders tacked to the sides and a trailer to haul a barrel of water. Lord, have mercy. The man with the collar started a hymn, and everyone in the small town knew the lines and sang along like little lemmings. And I try to remember the lines from my childhood that I have no reason to say except when people need something, anything, to make them think that their life doesn't have to end. Lord, have mercy. The man with the collar reminded the room that people were created for life, that death was not a part of the plan, but stifle the overwhelming desire to caress the one you loved. Now in a coffin, for the coldness would be too stark a reminder. Lord, have mercy. I wanted to try to look into the coffin from a different angle. Maybe then the deceased would look more real. Maybe then I wouldn't see his lack of hair from the chemo gone wrong. Maybe then I wouldn't see his hands clasping rosary beads. Lord, have mercy. I remember the string of people wanting to meet us before they proceeded to the coffin, which reminded me of a procession of people waiting to congratulate a bride and groom immediately after a wedding ceremony. But in this macabre receiving line, all of the funeral attendants were repeatedly saying to us, "I'm sorry for your loss." And I wonder how many times the man in the coffin had to say those words in his line of service. How hollow those words were when he spoke them, when the words then seemed so stifling. And I think of how people say this when nothing can express how anyone is feeling, especially when people don't even know how to feel anymore. Lord, have mercy. The chants now ended. The Knights of Columbus stopped their constant repeated prayers to the painted man in the coffin to help us justify a pain we don't know how to deal with. Lord, have mercy was all I could think, but not to call a higher power, but to give empty words at an empty time with too many injustices in this living death scene. We're all players in this charade. Making up death in a way that we want to believe is not ghoulish. That's what we keep telling ourselves, unless we choose to ignore the macabre while unsettled lives are still all around us. We mourn or cry, and we try to fit this all into the pieces, into the puzzle of our lives. And for those who believe, and even for those who don't, these words seem to be the only fitting words to think or feel. Lord, have mercy.